How to find the reciprocal of a number. To find the reciprocal of a number, all you have to simply do is flip the fraction. So what does it mean to flip the fraction? Let's actually take a look at that. Here it says to find the reciprocal of the fraction 1/2. Remember, the 1 is called the numerator, the 2 is my denominator. So when we say flip the fraction to get the reciprocal, what we're going to do is we're going to switch the numerator with the denominator. So if I do that, I just put down 2 over 1. So that would be my reciprocal of 1/2. And if I look at my final fraction, 2 over 1, I can simplify that to just 2. So the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. Let's take a look at this next example. Here it says to find the reciprocal of -4 over 3. So in my fraction, I just have to flip the fraction. So remember, flipping is just simply switching the numerator, which is the top number, with the denominator, which is the bottom number. So if I flip it, I would get 3 over -4. And I cannot simplify that, so that's going to stay the same. Now, one thing you might notice is the negative sign. You don't really leave it here. We normally would write it as -3/4. So the minus sign looks like it's out in the middle in front of my division bar. Or you could write it as -3 over 4. Even though these are all the same value, you're not going to see the negative sign in the denominator in simplified form. We usually put it out front or in the numerator up top. Here's an example where it says to find the reciprocal of the number 2. Now, when you're trying to find a reciprocal, it helps to put it into fractional form. So I'm going to represent the 2 as a fraction. If it's not a fraction, I just put it over 1, because 2 divided by 1, well, that's still 2. So 2 over 1 is my fraction, and to get the reciprocal, I switch my numerator with my denominator, and I get 1/2. So 1/2 is the reciprocal of 2. And since I can't simplify that, I'll just leave it as 1/2. In my last example, it says find the reciprocal of -5. So once again, if my number is not a fraction, I'm going to put it over 1, because when we divide by the value 1, we're not changing it. -5 divided by 1 is still -5. Now, to get the reciprocal, I just switch my numerator and my denominator, and I get 1 over -5. Well, remember, the negative sign, we usually write it out front, so you'll probably see it as -1/5 or -1 over 5. So these will be my reciprocals. So it doesn't matter which one, they still have the same value. And again, negative divided by a positive is still negative. So that's still the same value as these. Except, like I said before, we're just going to write it out in this format because that's how you're going to see it in simplified form. If you like my video and you want to support my channel, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.